are you, my friend? I'll be honest, Neil. I thought it was a 50-50 game last night. Actually, 45-55. I really thought that the Maple Leafs had pretty much outplayed us. But I thought if they won that series, it would be a reset and the Caps could take off and go. I don't necessarily see that happening, though. This is still a dogfight. This is still a war, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right. You look at just the first period, Caps jump out to a 4-1 lead, and I don't think any Washington Capitals fan thought that that was a surefire win by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, look, there was a lot of things to take away from that game to like, and there's still a lot of room for improvement. The good news for Washington, 2-2 series, you know, it's a best of three. They have home ice again. But the bad news is, I mean, they're still nowhere to be found in at least one period of hockey, and against a team like the Maple Leafs who just won't go away, that's still a cause for concern.
Mm-hmm. What were the big adjustments that you saw beyond actually the changing of the lines from Coach Trotz and the Caps?
I think, you know, Barry Trotz relied on Matt Niskanen a lot more. He played, over 25 minutes. Him and Orlov played against the Austin Matthews line. So I think that that was part of the difference. You know, I was glad to see Barry Trotz take control of the matchups. He has the better team. He should be the one that's dictating who's on the ice when. He really shouldn't let Mike Babcock do it. And you know, Babcock's he's a savvy coach. I mean, he's a coaching hockey legend, and I think that he was outplaying Trotz a little bit. But you know, you got to give credit to Trotz. The move of Tom Wilson up to the third line certainly worked out, and some of his other tweaks certainly worked out. So it'll be interesting to see how he keeps that going on home ice with last change.
I guess it's just the kind of the product of, you know, the monster of hockey, especially playoff hockey. But I mean, Washington, as you mentioned, coming out and just blowing Toronto away in the first period, up 4-1. I mean, they look like, you know, Toronto looked like a minor league team compared to the Caps last night in the first period. But then something changes, and you mentioned the third period, and I get it. When you're down, you're more aggressive and you're taking more chances. But this is back-to-back games now, Neil, where the Maple Leafs have outplayed the Caps in the third period. It's a little scary.
It's very scary. This is a young team. They're a young, good team. And, you know, for Washington in the third period, they just stopped forechecking. I mean, they were carrying the puck into the zone very well. They were getting through the neutral zone very well. They had bottom six scoring, top six scoring. They had Holtby not looking his best, but not losing the game for them either. And then you get to the third period, and you know, the shot totals don't really worry me because the Capitals were nursing a lead, but the Capitals were outchanced by the Maple Leafs 10-4 in the third period at even strength. That's a real cause for concern. And like you mentioned, the game before, and what could have been realistically described as a franchise-defining moment in terms of playoff hockey, they go 13 minutes in the third period in a tie game without even registering a shot on goal. I'm not really sure why this team is just taking periods off. But it has to stop because maybe they have enough talent, Washington does, to get past Toronto this way. They do not have enough talent to get past a team like the Pittsburgh Penguins, who's their next round opponent, or even the Columbus Blue Jackets for that matter, if they manage to eke out the series in the same fashion.
I thought the 2-minute, 3-minute stretch there by Tom Wilson, I'm going to guess that's the best 3 minutes of his life. Maybe he did that in the juniors or, you know, pee-wee hockey, whatever you call it. But that's the kind of Tom Wilson they thought they were going to get when they drafted him, right? They didn't draft him to knock out guys. They thought he was going to be a goal scorer too, right?
You're absolutely right. They drafted him to be a power forward in the mold of Milan Lucic or even Jerome McGinley, but he ended up being just this one-dimensional fighter. Maybe the switch has been turned. I mean, that save that he made in that period, not only is he protecting the goal, the corner of the goal, and then is able to get back on his feet, go the other way, and score. And then he has a deflection also for his second goal of the night. I mean, this is the winning formula for Washington during the regular season. You have your bottom six producing, and then anything else you get from your top six was gravy at some point. But then last night, everything happening, and then Tom Wilson, which was quite possibly the best 3-minute stretches of hockey from a player I've seen in recent memory. If this is indeed a turn for Tom Wilson, that's good news for Washington because it gives Trotz back his 4 lines, and his depth, which he was using during the regular season, to just blow teams out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. He play even they lose Game 3 when he came out. Spectacular, one of the best, most aggressive defensive plays I've seen in a long time. Maybe I don't watch a ton of hockey, but then Wilson just one-upped him, and then to score 13 seconds later, a remarkable sequence there.
Yeah, and you got to. Tom Wilson probably has the best save of the night, and that's saying something with Holtby and net.
Yeah.
But that was a momentum changer, and that was quite possibly a series changer.